That's the page Mr. Thanos is on. He's a good guy. He had some good ideas. Can you try it?
You know what really sucks about that cold open? Hello? Where'd you go? Oh, you're committing to the bit. So here's what sucks about that cold open. Even though I made a comment about snapping, I was muted the whole time, so the audience isn't in on the joke. So this bit that you're doing, it was muted. They only heard your side of it.
It was dusty in there.
Yeah. I snapped him away and he was invisible, but here we are.
We're back.
Welcome to Marvel Cinematic University, where each and every week I teach Jake something about the MCU that he probably doesn't know and still probably doesn't. I'm your host and Professor Alix, and with me, as always, is the worst student ever. Can't even do the bit right, even though it was my fault. It's Jacob.
It was your fault.
I think it was your fault.
I tried my hardest.
No, your hardest wasn't good enough. Hey, if you could just frame your head a little bit so you're not cutting off your chin and it's the worst framed headshot I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this tonight.
Anyway, this week we're here to talk about Infinity War, the Avengers Infinity War, in fact. I thought I opened the notes for that movie, but oh yeah, I did. There they are. Infinity War.
Infinity Chores.
I didn't put the release date, so I guess that'll just not be a thing I ever remember to do.
I believe it was 2018.
It was absolutely 2018. It was April something of 2018.
Yeah, so we saw this puppy in theaters.
And I saw this puppy in theaters like 6 times.
Yeah, let me tell you, when you told me the next one's not coming out for like another 2 years or a year or something, I don't remember when.
It was 10 months, so maybe don't be such a baby about it.
Oh, boy. What a cliffhanger.
That's true. There was a cliffhanger. Technically, the next movie came out 2 months later. It was an Endgame, but the next Marvel movie did come out 2 months later.
That was Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's correct. Do you want to guess what the budget for Infinity War was?
The budge. If I was a betting man,
which you are,
I would say it was probably around 500 million.
Actually, 316 million. So you're a little up there. 500 million would be a lot for a movie. I think way more than even the most expensive movie.
Avatar?
Maybe. And do you want to guess what the box office for this movie was? Keep in mind, I believe it's number 4 on the top 10 list of all time.
I think it was like 1.8 billion.
It's actually 2.052 billion.
Okay. I knew it was between 1.8 and 2.1 billion. So,
well, now you do.
Well, I knew that going into that.
Definitely, so you know that now. You can learn something new every day, Jacob.
I choose not to.
It was directed by the Russo brothers. The third movie that they've directed in the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, usually, Jake, this is the part where I tell you who starred in the film, and I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you everybody who was in this film.
We could be here for years.
The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how much screen time each character had.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because it's actually quite fascinating when you break it down. Because there's so many people in this film that some of the most important characters get like 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah. I mean, especially like Thor, Rocket Raccoon. They're not on screen a whole lot.
You just named one person who has like the most amount of time.
Interesting. Anyway, onward.
All right, so starting with Josh Brolin, who plays Thanos. He had 29 minutes of screen time, the most amount of screen time out of everybody.
Wow. That's a long movie.
Zoe Saldana, who plays Gamora. 19 minutes and 30 seconds.
Do they get paid by the minute?
No, I believe they get paid by the billions of dollars.
I see.
Millions of dollars, actually, not billions. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, had 18 minutes of screen time. Chris Hemsworth, 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Benedict Cucumberpatch, 11 minutes and 30 seconds.
Benedict Pickling Cucumber Patch.
His name just gets longer and longer.
It's going to get longer. We'll toss a fertilized in there one time.
Chris Pratt, 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Lizzie Olsen, 9 minutes.
Mommy.
Mark Ruffalo, 8 minutes and 45 seconds.
Ruffalo the Buffalo.
Tom Holland, who plays Spooderman, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Bradley Cooper, 6 minutes. Sorry, I skipped over Chris Evans, 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
That's really shocking.
Yep. He is like a main character of this film, and he has 6 minutes and 45 seconds of screen time. I mean, keep in mind, it's a 3-hour movie, and the person with the most amount of screen time has 29 minutes of screen time.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, Bradley Cooper, 6 minutes. Scarlett Johansson, 5 minutes.
Not enough.
Dave Bautista, 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
It's not like as surprising.
Palm Clementif, 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
Oh, Mantis.
Yeah. Chadwick Boseman, 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Again, that's a little surprising.
Half of this movie takes place in his kingdom.
Yeah, and like kind of that end fight scene, I feel like he's in there a little more than 3 minutes or whatever.
Nope, that's pretty much all he's in there for, is that fight time, which keeps it at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Vin Diesel, 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, Gru.
Karen Gillan, a Nebula, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Tom Hiddleston, Loki, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So Loki has the same amount of screen time as Chadwick Boseman. Almost. See, 15 seconds less. That's because...
Right away.
Yeah, but it's very Loki heavy for those first 3 minutes.
I know.
Don Cheadle, 3 minutes.
That account like when he's in his suit and you can't see him?
Yeah, it just counts when the character of War Machine is on screen, yeah. Anthony Mackie, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Sorry, Benedict Wong, 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
That's still pretty shocking.
Seabass Stan, 2 minutes.
Oh, Seabass Stan.
Samuel L. Jackson, 1 minute. And Kobe Smulders, 45 seconds.
Yeah, the only reason she wasn't a minute is because she got fuzzy.
Yeah, she got dusty 15 seconds before Nick Fury did.
I know.
Yeah, so that's everyone. Pretty shocking at the amount of people who have less than 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, especially some of the main characters there.
So if you were to break this down as a traditional movie and you look at it, you could assume by looking at this that the main characters of the film are Thanos, Gamora, Iron Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, and Star-Lord. Those are your main characters.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only reason, and I guess the main reason Gamora's in there so much is because she's being lugged around by Thanos for half the movie, but
yeah, she's an integral part to Thanos' story, and this is Thanos' movie.
Yeah. I mean, she had to take a little tumble or a little fall.
She fell halfway through the movie and still got 19 minutes and 30 seconds of screen time.
No. An everlasting exchange.
All right. So this movie takes place immediately after Thor Ragnarok, and 2 years after Civil War, and 4 years after Guardians of the Galaxy 2. To give you an idea of where all these characters are coming from.
You know what song's been? So I watched this movie today, right?
So Rubber Band Man's been stuck in your head?
Yep, all day long, dude.
I know that feeling. That song's always stuck in my head after I watch that movie.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I'll like put it on before I go to bed as like a comfort movie to sleep to, because you know something about wiping out the universe, half the universe's population.
It's comforting.
It soothes me to sleep.
Puts me right to sleep. It's like the happiest thought I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of food now, resources,
less people.
I'm getting off topic, but you know, sometimes I'll be really tired and I'll fall asleep before that song comes on, and then you know, I'll wake up the next morning and it'll be the Rubber Band Man song. And
you had a dream of that song?
Yeah, I have to assume it was probably in the dream.
Well, yeah. So now that you've gone on a tangent about the Rubber Band Man, it's time for you to tell us the story of Infinity War. The soothing, comforting story of Infinity War.
Who's Gamora? I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Yeah, I've never actually seen the movie.
Oh, fuck. You just said you like 10 times you watched it today, so...
yeah, gaslit.
So at some point you're gaslighting me.
No, I just actually played the Rubber Band Man scene over and over.
No, that actually makes sense.
But I was gaslighting you. I have seen the movie. It starts off on the Asgard ship.
Not the Asgard ship.
Okay, let me say their asses were not guarded on that ship anymore.
I think there was a little raw dog in there.
Well, one can assume. But that's where Loki, you know, dies, and because he tries to stab Thanos with a dagger.
Yeah. Don't forget about what Loki had there.
No, he was pulling the old worst brother ever and had the Tesseract. No.
He also had something else. Thanos may have had an army, but Loki had something else there.
He had a Hulk.
He did have a Hulk. And the Hulk did a little fighty fight.
Hulk got the paws from Thanos.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thanos kicked his ass.
He's like, no, let him have his fun.
And it's in that moment when you first watch this film that you go, oh, fuck, that guy's strong.
This guy's going to be a worthy foe.
How do we make Thanos look like the strongest character ever? Just make him kick Hulk's ass.
Yeah. Make him beat the shit out of Hulk in the first 3 minutes, apparently.
And not break a fucking sweat.
Yeah.
If Hulk was not ready for round 4.
He was not, no.
Yeah, so go ahead. Loki kills himself. Oh, no, Loki dies.
Well, he doesn't kill himself. He's assisted to the afterlife.
He made a hero sacrifice.
He did. He tried to do the right thing. You know, it's like, I've been kind of a slithery little snake my whole life. Let me try to do the right thing here and kill Thanos and save the world. Which I will say, if he succeeded and killed Thanos there, never would have heard the end of
it. he wouldn't have shut up about it.
No, we'd have 12 movies of Loki and how he killed Thanos.
Loki would take rule of Earth because he'd be like, hey, you guys got to thank me somehow.
Yeah, I know. And then we'd be fighting Loki again.
But instead, Thanos crushes him like a Coke can after he finished it, or a Bud Light can.
Yeah, just smashes it right off the top of his head and throws it to the side.
Like it was nothing.
Then the other guy who wields the sword of Asgard, he died.
Yeah, Heimdall,
that's right. He got the forever nap, and Thor, the ship like exploded and Thor got sucked out to space, so everyone thought he was dead.
Exactly. And he ended up like a little bug on a windshield.
Mm-hmm.
That's later. First, we got to follow somebody else down to Earth.
We do, yes.
The Hulk meteor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hulk. Oh, sorry. Spaced out.
I noticed.
The Hulk meteor flies down to old Doctor Strange.
Wait, hold on. Not the Hulk meter.
The Hulk meter.
Is that how they measure Hulks in Canada? The Hulk meter?
Yeah. In America, it's the Hulk foot.
How many Hulk inches do you think he is?
18, I would think.
But plot twist, he's actually rocking the smallest dick known to man.
A piece of yarn hanging there.
He's got a little Ant-Man.
Well, ScarJo's still alive, so.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's right. He's got to hide the cucumber. All right, so I got distracted by Hulk Dick. We were following Hulk smashing into Mr. Strange, Mr. Doctor.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, this guy Thanos is coming."
What? Why are they so obsessed with Thanos coming?
Well, he's not edging.
If he was, half the universe might still be alive.
Probably double the size of the universe.
not by edging.
No, he's coming. And then they're like, "We gotta talk to Tony."
Why did he use that weird accent?
I don't know. I'm not the director. That's what they said to do.
We gotta go talk to Tony.
We gotta go talk to Tony.
Who just had a little dream about a baby Morgan.
Sure did. Not born yet. And then Doctor Strange.
Mr. Strange. Mr. Doctor,
Strange.
Sorry.
Mr. Doctor. Benedict pickled cucumbers batch. And Tony's like, "I'm sorry, you selling tickets?"
Yeah, I guess he does say that.
Yeah. Weird line. I think it could have been better. Yeah, then they're like, "Come with us," and then
Come with us if you want to live.
Edge with us. And then while they're talking, they're talking about Thanos coming and all that.
And the Infinity Stones. This is where Tony learns of the Infinity Stones.
He does learn about them here, yes.
He learns they're all shiny in different colors, and they were the stones of the universe. And one of them has power, the other has time, the other is a soul. And the other ones do something too.
They do some space.
Yeah, reality.
And reality.
Yeah. And yeah, that sounds like most of them.
And you can't actually destroy these stones without using these stones.
Yeah. You got to use the stones to destroy the stones.
Sure do. Yeah. But they're like, "Hey, you got to call Cap." And then that's where Bruce is like, finds out that the Avengers had a falling out. They're not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, they're like, "What happened to my pals? I was gone for 2 years and my pals had a little fight."
Mm-hmm.
They did a little beat 'em up.
I mean, really, I think that means Bruce was the glue that held this group together.
Well, when I think of Hulk, I think of the glue that holds the MCU together. I think if the Hulk didn't exist, the MCU probably wouldn't exist. I mean, it is the second movie after all.
Yeah. I mean, that movie almost killed the MCU, but yeah. No, he's definitely, I think he's the glue of the group.
Yeah, the glue of the MCU.
Yeah. Then, Thanos's minions, they fly down
banana people?
Donut. Yeah, they have a bagel that they fly down in.
Not a bagel.
It's a bagel. It's an evil bagel.
Is it an everything bagel?
I think it has a little bit of everything on there, yeah. So Doctor Strange.
Mr. Doctor.
Yes. Mr. Strange has to, and Tony, fight these guys off. Hulk doesn't want to come out.
He doesn't want to come out to play. He's like, Thanos is not my problem, actually, it turns out.
Not my problem. I just got the shit kicked out of me by this guy.
Hey,
I ain't doing it again.
Hulk's like, "I've never lost a fight before. That guy kicked my ass, so I'm good.
I'm good.
I'll sit here for a second."
And then after that battle, I think it cuts back to space, right? Because that's where the Rubber Band Man song.
I was gonna say, I think that's where the Rubber Band Man comes in.
Yeah, and that's where the Guardians are just flying around.
I'm gonna have fun with that audio.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. That's when the Guardians are flying around and they're like, well, let's help these guys. And if they don't pay us, we take their ship.
Yeah, it's a good plan. And then also they should probably steal their batteries too.
They probably would, I think.
And their anulary batteries.
The annulary batteries. Harbulary batteries.
A harbulary.
But then they get a little bug on the windshield while flying through this destroyed spaceship field area.
Also known as Thor Odinson.
It is. He is the bug.
He's the little tiny bug boy.
Yeah, and Drax is like, you're a man. This is a god.
And then Rocket starts fat shaming. Or no, is it Drax that fat shames Quill?
I think it's Mantis and Drax.
You're a sandwich away from being fat or something.
Yeah. You're a sandwich away from being fat. I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna get a Bowflux.
Yeah, then they start having a man off.
This is my ship, not today, sir.
They start peacocking around Gamora.
Yeah. Rocket and Thor go off to do their thing.
With
Groot. And then
Teen Groot, who's a bit of a prick. But as you've learned from his baby Groot adventures, he didn't have good childhood.
No, very unsupervised. Everyone else heads over to nowhere.
Yeah, well, they got to go somewhere.
They go nowhere.
They literally have to be going somewhere.
No, they go to nowhere.
Oh, you mean the planet?
No, that's somewhere.
Oh,
okay. If anyone's listening to this podcast while driving their car, they just voluntarily drove into a tree.
This is also the third time they've heard us do that joke.
Yeah, for sure. Guess what? We'll do it again.
When it comes time for Guardians 3, for sure.
And then we go back to Earth for a little bit. Scotland, to be precise.
Oh yeah, we do go to Scotland.
We do go to Scotland.
A little Scotty boy.
Vision and Wanda are getting it on over in.
It's actually WandaVision. I know we haven't gotten there yet, so it's okay for you not to know. But it's not Vision and Wanda. It's WandaVision.
And then Vision gets the right up in the gut there from. I don't know his name. Let me see if it's in here.
I believe that's Ebony Maw, isn't it? No, it's the other one.
Oh,
no, it's the other guy. I don't remember the other. Or no, it's the chick. It's the Chica.
It's Corvus Glaive.
Yeah, the Chica.
This ain't no Chica.
Oh, the girl's the other one. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, there's a whole thing.
The girl is Proxima Midnight.
Right, her.
Yes,
she's there too.
And then, they do some fighting, a little bit of scrapping, and guess who shows up to save the day?
Mr. America.
Mr. America, Mrs. Widow.
Mr. America and the Hunch Bunch kids.
Yep. They show up to... Is Sam there?
Sam is there. Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, Mr. Wilson is there as well. They show up to save the day, and they're like, we don't want to kill you. And then Proxima Midnight's like, you'll never get the chance again. Plot twist. They get the chance again.
They get the chance, and they take it.
Yeah, they do take it.
and bonus, they get a second chance after that.
They do. They get to kill her twice.
That's for another movie.
Sure is. And then we go back to the old flying bagel.
Not the flying bagel.
Where Doctor Strange has some pointy little spears around him.
I think we forgot to mention Spider-Man also entered that fight at some point.
Oh yeah, we did forget. He was
left
on the bus.
He left his field trip, and Stanley was like, "Bye, Spider Boy.
Bye, Spider Boy.
Excelsior."
Yeah, so he's on the flying bagel as well, because he disobeyed Mr. Stark.
Yeah, he's a little stowaway. And then they do the move from Alien.
Mr. Stark's like, yeah, but the kid knows more movies, and they kill Ma. He gets the vacuum.
He gets the ice box. He gets the Guardians 2 Volume 2 treatment.
Yeah,
it's actually the same visual where he goes out and slowly freezes, and then his brain expands.
Yeah.
He's off to see Blenderman now.
Yeah, him and Blunderman they're like that up there now.
Blenderman and Iceman.
Mm-hmm.
Space Iceman.
So then they decide that's when they decide that, hey, let's pilot this thing to Titan.
Well, they don't decide it. Tony decides it, and Mr. Doctor and Tony or Spidey Boy there are like, oh, is this really the best idea? And then Spidey Boy's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Peter Parker. And Mr. Doctor goes, I'm Doctor Strange.
He goes, oh, we're using made up names. I'm Spider.
Yeah, I'm Spider Boy.
I'm Spider Lad.
I'm Kid Arachnid.
Kid Arachnid. And then I think it doesn't go back to Earth after that. Yeah, it does. Sure does.
What goes back to Earth? The movie?
Yeah.
Not the bagel. The bagel doesn't go back to Earth.
No, bagel. It's not going back to Earth because they're going to crash that thing in a few minutes here.
Yeah.
So we go back to Earth, and then WandaVision.
WandaVision. You'll understand. That song will be stuck in your head soon enough.
Sure won't. Nope, definitely not.
It was Agatha all along.
They go back to the headquarters, and guess who's on the? There's a projection of.
Oh, it's the guy from your favorite movie.
Yeah, it is. It's General Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah, he's from your favorite movie, Civil War.
Yep. And he's gotten older since the Hulk movie. Still a dick. He says arrest him. Yeah, War Machine's like, Don Cheadle says, sure, I'm going to get on it. Pushes him away and is like, good to see you, Cap.
Now, slight future spoilers here. How confident are you feeling that that's Rhodey?
Now that you've mentioned it, 0. Before that, like 95.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll find something out that will anger me in the future.
Okay. Yeah, because they have more money to pay the other guy now.
No, that's it's much worse than that.
Oh, okay. I'll look forward to bad news. Then I'm trying to think in my head what happens next here.
I think Cap's like, I know a guy, and then the war drums for Wakanda start banging, and somebody gets a new arm.
Oh, that's right. This is when they go back to Wakanda, and Bucky gets his arm.
Wow, how'd you piece that together?
It's a mystery. The world may never know.
I'm glad you finally figured it out all on your own.
Yeah, and then we go back to space where Thor's getting his axe.
His axe body spray?
Yeah.
From little Game of Thrones man?
He's not little.
Pete Dinklage.
Old Mr. Dinklage.
Let's cast Pete Dinklage to play a giant.
Yeah. It's like, Thor, your people were supposed to protect us.
But spoiler alert, they didn't.
Yeah, and they're like, sorry, no one's guarding your ass anymore. There's no ass guard around here.
We forgot to Asgard.
Meanwhile, the Guardians, they're over on Nowhere.
Meanwhile, back at Nowhere.
Well, they gotta be somewhere.
Shut the fuck up and continue.
And who do they see? Thanos.
Well, first they I guess they first see Thanos. Yeah. There is a collector in a case back there cheering him on.
But is there?
There sure looks like it.
You're under the impression there's a collector back there. Yeah. Someone who might collect them.
And potentially a blue man.
They do make up a little plan. Star-Lord's like, Gamora, go left. She goes right. Gets captured.
Should have went left. Drax and Mantis get what I thought at the time was brutally murdered, but turns out they were fine.
Didn't think they were going to make it through this scene when I first saw it.
I was like, damn, they just died, and then they got pieced back together, and I was like, how? What?
I was like, when that happened, I was like, you got to give him a little better of a send off, I think.
It was pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. Drax, was it? Mantis gets turned into rocks and Drax gets turned into springs.
I think they, yeah. Drax gets turned into blocks of body parts, and Mantis gets unraveled.
That's right. That's what happened. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
And then Gamora gets captured, and she's like, "Peter, kill me instead."
And he's like, bubbles. He turns into that fish from Finding Nemo and goes, "My bubbles,
bubbles." And then Thanos was into his little time tunnel, and
it's actually the space stone.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the time stone yet, so he can't use that power.
Yeah, space tunnel, whatever.
Yeah, it's a space
nerd. And let me tell you, Gamora not gonna like where they're going next.
It's very bad, Bora.
Happy no Mora.
Because they go visit her tortured sister.
Yeah, she's hanging around.
Yeah, she's kind of like the rubber band man, in which her father is really stretching her apart.
The rubber band woman.
I thought you were gonna say the rubber woman, or the rubber woman man.
The rubber woman man.
Y'all better prepare yourself for the rubber woman man.
It's a real tongue twister. It would never work with the song.
It could.
And yeah, so they see her, and they're heading off to Vormir
to get the other stone.
And then Gamora, you can stop me if I missed a part here, but Gamora gets tossed off the cliff after they see the red skull.
I was gonna see the first you did miss Hitler's BFF, Redhead Schmidt over there.
Yep, he's been banished to Vormir. Redhead Schmidt, and
Redhead Schmidt is now philosophical. Philosophical is way better way to say that.
He's philosophical now, and he's like, I think he said something like, "You must throw something you love off."
Yeah, you got to pay the price. You got to replace a stone with a loved one.
Yep. Which I don't understand. Thanos has these hangups about throwing Gamora off the cliff. He's really not happy about it.
Well, it's his favorite daughter.
Yeah. He doesn't. The other one's, tied up to.
Yeah, that's his rubber woman man.
Yeah, and so this is obviously his favorite daughter.
Yeah, so he eats and deletes her off that cliff.
Now, do you think this cliff knows if you love someone, or can you trick it?
I don't think you could trick it. I think that's why Redhead Schmidt was unable to obtain the stone.
Yeah, because he could have found a Chitauri soldier or something and be like, "I love this thing." Yeah. We're back in Wakanda, and guess what? We're getting ready for a scrap here.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, this is
because we gotta save Vision because we can't kill that guy.
Yeah. God forbid. Yeah. I don't know why.
God forbid he dies.
Why don't we just cut his head off? Now Mommy doesn't feel so bad about blowing that stone out of his head.
Either do it now or do it later. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, guess what? Now a bunch of people are dead. You still have to kill them. Selfish.
Yeah. Well,
just selfish.
It's like, man, we could have. It's almost like we could have prevented this.
Yeah, so we got to fight because Vision. They don't want to kill Vision for some reason.
They don't trade lives, Jakey. They don't trade them.
Well, they traded. Let me tell you,
they don't trade willingly.
Yeah. At the end, Captain America, Vision's like, you know what? Yeah, don't kill me. And then at the end, after Thanos is there, he's like, "We don't trade places, Cap." And he's all of a sudden ready and willing to fight. Like this guy, mid character, don't like him.
No, not mid character.
And then they fight, and they're like, "We got to open up these walls to let these." I don't even know what these things are. They kind of look like something from Gears of War.
They're doggy. We'll call them doggy aliens. They got that dog in there.
Some of them did. You see them running through that wall and getting their head and bodies cut in half. Yeah,
they were killing themselves.
You got that dog in you.
Oh, is that what that means? If you got that dog in you, got to run headfirst into a laser death.
Well, not every time, but if you're one of the first there, you got that dog in you. Maybe like the other, especially like halfway through the pack, they're still piling up. They're driven.
Right. You got to trade those first lives.
Yeah. I mean,
they
I
trade
wish I had
lives.
that. If I had that motivation, I'd be doing well.
Get that motivation.
So we have to do a little fighting here,
Yeah. But also, there's some fighting going on in space that we should probably check in on.
Oh, I was getting to that because
okay.
Yeah, actually, I was just about to get there. So perfect transition.
Perfect.
It'll look better in editing, post edit.
It won't.
Okay.
Not that good of an editor.
Well, let me tell you, Doctor Strange,
Mr. Doctor,
and the Guardians, and Tony Stark and Spooderman are getting ready for a battle on Titan with Thanos.
Mr. Thanos.
And they have a pretty good plan, and it pretty much works. Almost works.
Don't forget that Doctor Strange also took a look at a couple million outcomes there. And also they had to do the little face-off first, where they ran into the Guardians, and they were like, who, what, where, when, why is Gamora? Sometimes how.
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
I'll do you one better.
Oh, yeah. They almost kill each other first.
Yeah. And then they're like, wait, you're from Earth? And he's like, I'm from Missouri. And Iron Man goes, you know what they say in Missouri? We ain't going back to Missouri.
We ain't going back to Missouri.
It's misery in there.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there are some people who currently live in Missouri that probably don't know that's on Earth, so.
I mean, I think that was the whole joke.
Yeah,
that's how I saw the joke anyway.
There's some sharper knives in the drawer. But, they figure out that they're on the same team. They're both trying to kill Thanos. They come up with this pretty good plan. Almost works. Thanos was a planet at some point.
Well, that's after they capture Thanos, and then Thanos or Mr. Pratt there is like, hey, where's my lady friend? And Nebula's like, she ain't alive no more. And Star-Lord goes, fuck the rest of the world, and punches Thanos in the face.
There's a couple selfish people, and Star-Lord's usually not selfish, but he was running on emotion, so I'll give him a pass on this one.
Fun fact, James Gunn hates this decision.
Yeah, I can imagine. It kind
also, I'd like to remind you a couple things about Star-Lord's character here that kind of appear, but shouldn't have appeared. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Star-Lord's mask is destroyed.
Well, I just figured he got a new one.
Same exact one. His blasters are also left behind and destroyed.
I got new ones of those too. I mean, you think those are the only model of mask and blasters out there?
And let me tell you two things that do not appear in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
The mask and blasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got discontinued.
Because James Gunn admitted that the people who worked on Infinity War did not pay attention to that detail in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I mean, I just broke it down for everyone. It can happen.
So he, his canon explanation of why they don't appear in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is that Star-Lord left everything on his desk before they left nowhere.
Yeah, he was in a hurry.
Yeah, they were quickly getting out of there.
Mm-hmm. They had to save Rocket.
Yeah. Anyway, that's for a future later. Let's talk about this movie.
So while they're fighting and everything, Thor holds open. The gate thing broke to melt the metal from the star. So Thor has to hold this puppy open.
Hey, he takes a little star to the face.
Yep. Almost dies.
Hey, but he didn't.
He didn't. And you know why?
He fucking ate that sun.
He did eat that sun. Probably should get checked for various forms of skin cancer.
No, I hear the sun is good for him.
Well, they say it's not the extreme heat from the sun that kills you; it's the cancer that gets you afterwards.
You can walk into the sun. You're not walking out of it though.
Yeah,
Without cancer.
Yeah, exactly. And Groot's he's gonna be a hero here. Actually, he's gonna take his arm. He's gonna create the handle to the axe, and he's gonna break his own arm off and grow that thing back at a later date. But
he's like, a part of me is now a part of you.
Mm-hmm. Now we get a little lightning coming off this axe, and it revives Thor. And they start heading to Earth and it was just in time because things are getting dire down in Wakanda because everyone's starting to get swarmed by these dogs.
And everyone's like, Thor's here to save us. And Rocket's like, I'm here too. And Groot's like, I am Groot.
I am Groot. But, Thor gets there, starts just raining lightning strikes down on these guys.
Yeah, they missed a perfect opportunity to play that song from Ragnarok.
Yeah. Well, they played that song twice.
You weren't there for that episode, but I could not remember the name of that song, and I never figured it out.
Oh, it's
No, I figured it out now. It's Immigrant Song.
Yeah.
But during that whole episode, I didn't figure it out though.
Oh, okay. And then I think Groot turns a couple of these dogs into a shish kebab at some point.
Probably.
And Rocket asks Bucky for how much his arm's going to cost.
And he says nothing.
And he says, it's not for sale. He says, oh, I'll get that arm.
And he may or may not get that arm at a future date.
Possible. Highly theorized.
Highly alleged.
Highly alleged. He gets the stone because Strange gave it to him, so he's got one more to get, and that's the one in Vision's noggin.
Yeah, he pops down and he looks at Captain America in the eye and he goes, "Are you ready for round 3?"
He did not say that because it's a good movie.
Well, I believe this is round 3, and I believe he does say that.
Maybe. I don't think so.
Are you ready for Infinity Stone 5?
Then, they do some more fighting. There's a lot of fighting in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole point of the movie.
Bruce Banner gets thrown in. I think he gets stuck in a rock by Thanos.
Yeah, they gets put gently into a rock, and he's like, "Come on, big guy, come on out." And the big guy's like, "No, you've got this cool suit. Why don't you just use that?"
Yeah. No.
Hulk's like, "No, if I come out, he might turn back into Ed Norton."
Oh, we don't want that. Banner trying to get Hulk out in this movie is like me trying to wake up in the morning. It's just not happening.
It's like Marvel trying to make a good Hulk movie. Just not happening.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. What's her name? Wanda actually destroys Vision's head and gets the stone out. He turns like a pale gray, I would say. And Thanos is like, "Oh, can't have that. Rewind.
Let's do that again."
Rips that thing out. He goes, gets all the stones. They try to, and Thor hits him in the chest with an axe. And he says, "Should have gone for the head." Goes like that. And boom, everyone's.
But then he also sees his little Gamora.
I was getting there.
And she's like, "Bye, bye, baby Gamora."
And she's like, "What did it cost you?" Everything.
Yeah, and then he said he should have went for that head. He should have done that, and then he disappears forever.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing what?
Well, going for the head is foreshadowing the next movie.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Disappearing forever foreshadows half the world, half the universe disappearing forever.
Yeah. That's pretty much the movie. I mean,
well, you forgot to mention everybody who disappeared. I want you to list everybody who disappeared off right now.
Black Panther, Spider-Man, Groot.
Oh yeah, we also didn't mention Peter Parker going, Mr. Stark, I don't want to go. And then he disappears. And it's heartbreaking. Yeah. And then Tony's like, Tony looks at his dust and goes, I done fucked up.
I gotta tell Aunt May about this. Hopefully, Tony's hoping Aunt May's in the dust too.
And don't worry.
Conversation.
Aunt May did get dusted.
Good. That was probably a relief for Mr. Stark.
In fact, every important Spider-Man character is dusted for story's sake.
Oh.
Because here's the thing, you age any of those characters up and you got college kids hanging out with high schoolers.
For legal reasons, they had to get dusted.
Peter comes back and MJ's 23.
Yeah. And I'm listing my dustings.
Okay, yeah.
Wanda gets dusted.
Mm-hmm.
It helped when you were holding up the fingers.
I don't know if this is the right amount, but they're here.
It's 4. All right, let's see here. Nick Fury. Robin
Trematsky. Ted, Barney, Lily, Marshall.
All dusted. Lightning McQueen, dusted.
Not Owen Wilson.
Mater, not dusted.
Larry the Cable Guy, still going strong.
Remy, thrown off the cliff, actually.
Never know. He is my favorite, most loved.
Yeah, and then the end credit scene is Nick Fury driving, and car almost crashes into them, and Robin Scherbatsky's like, there ain't no one in here. He's like, code red.
Everyone's disappearing. There's helicopters have fallen.
Yep. And he drops, when he's dusting, he drops what I can assume is something important that you'll tell me about.
Well, it's a symbol for a superhero. Now, prior to Endgame coming out, there's 2 movies we're going to be watching. One of them, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the other one, Captain Marvel.
Ooh.
And that is a symbol for Captain Marvel.
Okay, so that's where she comes from in the next movie.
Strongest Avenger.
Yeah. Seems highly likely.
I'm pretty sure she takes multiple nukes to the face.
Yeah, she just shrugs them off.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta take a nuke to the face.
It happens.
Well, Jake, that's Infinity War. Now, first, here's some fun facts. Thor director Kenneth Branagh, Professor Lockhart, cameos as the Asgardian radioing for help at the beginning of the film.
I noticed that, yeah.
No, you didn't. Bruce Banner wears Doctor Strange's clothes. This marks the second Avengers Bruce had to borrow clothes from.
Does he own his own clothes?
I don't know, because in Thor, he's wearing Iron Man's clothes.
It's got to get expensive. Every time he turned into the Hulk, he went through a pair of clothes.
And in the first Avengers movie, he's wearing some random janitor's clothes when he shows up to the New York fight. I think he only owns those pair of shorts. Spider-Man's arm hair standing up is a nod to his spider sense tingling.
It's like,
yeah, and that's how we knew that the world was ending.
Yep. We're all gonna die.
Spider-Man's spider sense comes into play in the next Spider-Man movie. But we've got quite the adventure before we get to the next Spider-Man movie, as we may or may not be watching 7 other movies before that.
Wow.
Steve's costume invokes the Nomad costume from the comics when Steve removed traces of color on his suit and got rid of his American affiliation.
I think this suit looks better.
It also has scales like the original costume design.
Oh.
Spider-Man's suit is based off the Iron Spider suit Tony gives him in the comics.
I would venture to guess that's true.
And it's got little spider legs. The Blue Man from Arrested Development can be seen in the collector's trophy room.
Not Tobias. That's fun.
The way that Thanos disassembles Mantis and Drax is a callback to his abilities in the Infinity War comic, where he does that same thing to 2 other people.
He's a fan of that move.
It's a good move. I mean, if you don't want to kill your enemies, you just want to incapacitate them into cubes.
You know what? That's how you know Thanos. This guy's got a little bit of a sense of humor because he could have killed them, but he's like, this is going to be so funny.
I'm going to make them Jack in the Boxes.
Yeah.
Sorry. We learned Nebula and Gamora's bad lying is due to Thanos not teaching them how to lie. We have seen earlier in Volume 1 and Volume 2 that they could not lie.
Yeah, they're not good at it.
Red Skull is recast now, played by Ross Marquand and not Hugo Weaving.
Still redhead shit. Redhead shit.
Not redhead shit. I hear that guy's kind of smelly.
Oh yeah. It's still redhead Schmidt to me in my heart.
In my heart and my soul, it's redhead shit.
Mm-hmm. Redhead shit.
Stormbreaker is Beta Ray Bill's weapon in the comics. Beta Ray Bill being another Thor.
It's a bit much.
What do you mean it's a bit much?
That's the line Rocket uses after he finds out the name's perfect. It's a bit much.
Yeah, in the comics, Thor never... I don't think Thor ever wielded Stormbreaker. It was always Beta Ray Bill as Thor.
Hmm.
Stormbreaker's text translates to loose the dogs of war. Because it's got that dog in it.
It's got that dog in
it. Groot's last line of the film is I am Groot, which translates directly to dad. James Gunn confirmed that means dad.
Aw.
And now on to my little connecty connectors. As the camera pans out from the Asgardian ship, you can see the surviving members of Asgard fleeing in the Grandmaster's orgy ship. And that's how the other half that lands on Earth in the next film escaped.
Are they fleeing or are they repopulating?
Yes. Loki repeats what Tony said to him in the first Avengers film. We have a Hulk. Red Skull became the keeper of the Soul Stone after getting sucked through the Space Stone in the 40s.
Oh, is that how he? Is that what happened?
Yeah, remember he held the Space Stone and he got sucked into space?
No.
On the ship?
Nope.
It was in the 5th episode of the show.
Oh.
In the first Avenger when he was fighting Captain America, and he was like, "I will know the power of the soul or of the Space Stone," and then he gets sucked. Anyway, Rocket wants Bucky's arm.
He does.
Tony making Thanos bleed reflects what Whiplash told Tony in Iron Man 2. If you can make God bleed, people will cease to believe in him. If you could make God bleed, give me my birds.
There's also a line from 300. Very similar.
This is Sparta.
Yeah.
This is tie-in.
This is Thanos.
I am inevitable. Peter's disappearance lasts so long because his spider sense picks up the pain early.
Oh yeah, he does kind of hang around.
He can tell he's about to disappear. He goes, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, and then he gets dusty.
And Stan Lee drives Peter's school bus. It's a Stan Lee sighting.
And he's actually driven that school bus in the other Spider-Man episode. So we know it's the same Spider-Man.
He was a guy in a building in the first Spider-Man movie.
Well, now we know what he got fired from that job, and now he works as a school bus driver.
It wasn't a job. That was where he was living.
I don't know, dude.
You come to this class every week, and you still don't know anything about the MCU. And that's it. That's all I got for you for the Infinity War.
Good movie. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, so we're probably good. We can make this an episode. It's only a little over an hour long.
Yeah, I mean, we got various obscenities to cut out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It'll probably end up being 55 minutes long.
Probably.
Anyway, that was Avengers Infinity War. This has been Marvel Cinematic University. You can check us out on Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you get podcasts. Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, Mr. Podcast, Mrs. Podcast, Baby Podcast, Podcast Guide to Podcasters.
Probably don't want children listening to this.
You can also follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, the other stuff at AJ Slabs and Juicy Snake 12, as well as MC 101 University. We do not have an OF. Thank you very much. You're welcome to make your own. No one is stopping you.
I don't want to. Follow me on Feedfinder.
Oh boy. And don't forget to watch new episodes of Marvel Cinematic University every Thursday at 3, and new episodes of Pinheads and Parasites every Monday at 3. I gotta reminding myself that I gotta go ahead and upload that episode because I forgot to do so earlier today.
Also, time it's on, at a normal hour.
Yeah. Oh, and next week you're gonna watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's your homework.
Probably.
No, definitely.
Oh.